Good morning. Good morning. On behalf of the Davis family, Jim, Ann, Chris, and Kasha, New Balance, and its recently named CEO, Joe Preston, and the NB Development Group, welcome and thank you for coming to the groundbreaking for the track at New Balance. Thank you. I'm Jim Halliday, Managing Director for NB Development Group, the team charged to develop, operate, and program the facilities here at Boston Landing, including the one we're all here for today, where we are building a state-of-the-art, world-class indoor track with the ability to host other multiple sports and event activities, along with an innovative sports-related R&D facility. In addition, the facility will feature a separate, top-of-the-market, 3,500 capacity music venue, which we are thrilled to have leased to and to be operated by the Bowery Presents. And we are thankful for the relationship struck with Jim Glancy, John Moore, and Josh Boddy from Bowery Presents and their extended team at AEG. This relationship blends well with lifestyle branding for New Balance and as an homage to the rich music history of Brighton and Allston, certainly represented by Boston-bred, globally traveled Amanda Carr, who sang a Boston anthem played earlier today. Thank you for coming, Amanda. Amanda and her partner, Charlie Farron, happened to open up the Warrior Ice Arena for us, so it's nice that we sort of adopted her as our anthem for Boston Landing. Boston Landing is proud to have become the recognizable gateway to the city of Boston, Mr. Mayor, from the West, where it had become known for its innovative and health and wellness spirit, anchored by the likes of New Balance's world headquarters, the Boston Bruins, thank you, Cam, the Boston Celtics, thank you, Rich, the recent additions of Bose, and the important work-life science lab-oriented tenants such as Roche, Proteostasis, and Smart Labs. So as you can see, and if you look at the parcel that this is being built on, the track and the music venue will literally and figuratively fill a big hole here at Boston Landing. And what it's going to add is a vibrant energy both inside the facility and up and down Guest Street to go along with our great retailers and restaurants. New Balance flagship store, Rail Stop restaurant and bar, Coe Coffee, flatbread pizza and a little bowling, Cambridge Naturals, and Mainly Burgers. And those other retailers and restaurants sure to come feeding off of today's announcement and certainly making Boston Landing an 18-hour, 7-day destination district. So how does a facility like the track at New Balance and a project like Boston Landing happen? Best way to answer that is by telling you who makes it happen. So first, and maybe hold our applause to the end here, first, a big thank you to the families of the groups I'm about to mention. Thank you, Renee, for allowing the folks I'm about to mention spend time it takes to make a successful project like this happen. The community, with project shaping by the dedicated and passionate advisory group. Advice and dedicated interest of our local elected officials, State Senator Sal DiDomenico, State Representatives Mike Moran and Kevin Honan, and our City Councilor, Mark Siomo. Of course, the City of Boston, led by Mayor Walsh and shepherded by Brian Golden and the BPDA team, and of course, a little shout out to Police Commissioner William Gross. State of Massachusetts, under the guidance and direction of Governor Baker and the various agencies that have been involved in this project. Our extended project team, Elkis Manfredi Architects and John Moriarty Associates, and their respective subs heading up design and construction. Page Design Group, responsible for making this a fast track. PMA Consultants for their project management support. Sanborn Head for their geotechnical services. Goodwin for their legal representation. John Hancock, our partner in the Lantera apartment complex behind us here. Graffito, CBRE, and Graystar, property management, leasing, and above all, placemaking. And a collaboration with New Balance Finance, Legal, Strategic Planning, Lifestyles, and Sports Marketing. And finally, to the NB Development Group team, responsible for making these projects happen. Thank you. None of this would be possible without the vision of Jim Davis for Boston Landing and especially this facility. The track at New Balance, where the aspiration is for world records, and Jenny, Boris, and Trayvon, I think that's where you come in, while providing a healthy playground for the youth. We will be back here in about a year for the steam bill topping off ceremony, and short 2.5 years for the opening of the facility. So in the tradition of track relay, precision, and teamwork, let's pass the baton to each speaker, and let's start it out by welcoming Jim Davis to the podium.
Well, good morning. Thank you for braving the elements. It's kind of windy out there, but they've done a nice job protecting us here. Governor Baker, Mayor Walsh, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today is an extra special day for New Balance, the city of Boston, and for the Allston-Brighton community. Annie and I and the entire New Balance family are pleased to share this moment with all of you to celebrate the pinnacle of our exciting and transformational development, the track at New Balance. All this started about 15 years ago. Annie and I look out the windows from our office on the 8th floor of 20 Guest Street, which is right over there. We saw a sprawling mass of barren, decrepit, one-level buildings comprised mostly of warehouses and garages. Guest Street was a bumpy road full of potholes, dim-lighted, listing street lamps, ugly-leaning telephone poles supporting a multitude of electrical cables and telephone lines. Sidewalks were cracked. This was really not an attractive sight. Sidewalks were cracked, uneven, lacking street curbs, making them difficult to navigate, unpleasant to the eye, and frankly, not very safe. We were looking at a depressing 15-acre wasteland, contributing nothing to the betterment of the community. New Balance was growing, running out of office space. We do not know how to run, but we can't do office space. We're working on it. We shared our office with other tenants. We realized it was time to have our own headquarters. The opportunity was begging. We jumped on it. 7 or 8 years later, after purchasing 3 major parcels and a few smaller ones, we consolidated them into a single parcel, and we proceeded with our vision and our dream. Today, that vision and that dream are becoming reality. Now changes are evident. The full impact is yet to come. It will be astonishing. I don't say things like this very often, but it will be astonishing, literally out of this world. And you'll all be surprised when you see. You think you know what it's going to look like, but you never know until it's up. On September 23rd, 2013, at this same location, we celebrated the groundbreaking of our world headquarters and the birth of what is today Boston Landing, and the headquarters is right over there. We will repeat some of the comments I will repeat some of the comments I made on that day. Ann and I and the entire New Balance family want to thank you for joining us today to celebrate the exciting and transformative project. All of us are excited about our new world headquarters and look forward to sharing the positive impact of this endeavor with our neighbors in Allston, Brighton. We are very proud to have Boston Landing serve as the welcoming gateway into the city of Boston from the west. And I continued, Boston Landing is a unique, one-of-a-kind, mixed-use entity comprised of 900,000 square feet of office building with possible biomedical research, a 200-room hotel serving as a hospitality center for both the occupants of the complex and the community in general. There are up to 65,000 square feet of retail opportunities and a large variety of mixed culinary establishments providing 24-hour services and amenities. That was back in 13, so a lot has happened between now and then. Since then, we have also built a 300-unit apartment building, and the hotel is on the horizon. Still, the pinnacle of the project is the New Balance Sports Center. It is a 250,000 square foot athletic complex with fitness and recreational areas, plus a world-class 200-meter track with hydraulic banks that flatten to an open field, allowing for sports such as lacrosse, soccer, volleyball, and basketball. Also included is space for a sports research lab, medical treatment, and physical rehabilitation. Thank you. We also have a music venue at the southeast corner of the building, a 40,000 square foot area with a 3,500 person capacity. This is designed to feature musical, theatrical, and small conference events. Most of Boston Landing is built, being built, or in the permitting process. This building is going to take another 2.5 years to complete, but during that period, we hope that we will undergo some other projects as well. Space dedicated to the track is larger than originally planned because the Bruins and the Celtics now have their own facilities. We cannot forget the train station, which took us 6.5 years to, when it was a pipe dream, to make it a reality. Today, it is operational, far exceeding expectations, providing commuter rail service to Allston, Brighton, for the first time in close to 50 years. Thank you. Most believe this project could not be done. We took a risk. We believed we could make the impossible possible. here it is before us today, and we haven't got long to go before the whole thing is completed. The track at New Balance sets a new performance standard in professional and amateur sports. It is a one-of-a-kind facility. Its design, location, and amenities evoke a spirit of innovation, of creative confidence, and efficiency. An incomparable level of excellence and competitive spirit, inspiring athletes to perform at levels they only dreamed of attaining. So you guys have a real opportunity here. It's all here. The track at New Balance will be among the fastest and most technical tracks in the world, if not the fastest. Attracting athletes from all over the world, aspiring to break world records and even personal best times. In conjunction with world-class events, there will be high school and college meets. The center will also serve as the community through youth mentoring programs and open recreational activities. I've said it before, this endeavor is one of the finest examples of cooperation between the public and private sector. The prevalent can-do attitude and cooperation on all levels, from executive to clerical, in both city and state government, was amazing and still is. The common goal for the betterment of the community transcended any personal agenda or interest, including politics. As Jim said, the final results are a credit to the many. It is a true example of what can be accomplished with proper leadership and cooperation. Thank you, Governor, and thank you, Mr. Mayor. A special thanks goes to our neighbors and local Allston Brighton community organizations and our local city and state representatives, allowing us the confidence to move forward, especially in the early stages. In the early stages, all we had was a plan. We had no track record. We made shoes. We didn't put up buildings. But these guys, they hung with us, and they gave us the confidence to proceed. So thank you all very much. Now I lost my place. This established Boston Landing as the western gateway to the city of Boston, making Allston Brighton the hub of health, wellness, and athletic activity in the city of Boston. It is really a unique one-off. It is also unique to the world. You will not see this anyplace else, where you have two professional sports teams right here, where you have a world-class track and office space and lab space. And it's very close to right downtown. It is my pleasure now to introduce Tom Carlio, our running guru. He's the guy that's going to tell you what we're going to do with this place. Tom Carlio, thank you. See, you practiced it.
Thank you. Okay, how's everybody? Good, good. Hey, this is truly really exciting for anyone that's part of the New Balance running family to be here at this event today. And it's a lot of the folks that have been behind the scenes on this this soon-to-be facility are here in the room, and it's been amazing to work with. Before I go into my 45, 50-minute speech here, I want to introduce some special guests that we have here today, real special guests. I'm going to start with the second tallest man to my right, Boris Berrien, who, stand up, Boris. So Boris was a kick-ass Division II 800-meter runner who transitioned into Team New Balance and has a gold medal around his neck from the 2016 Indoor World Championships in the 800 meters. He currently lives in a part of the world where the climate's not nearly this nice, but he came out here for this, and we thank you for that for us. Next at the end is Trayvon Bromell. So Trayvon was a high school legend from the state of Florida, first high schooler ever to break 10 seconds in the 100 meters, and he also has a gold medal around his neck from his first year with Team New Balance, also 2016 gold medal at the Indoor World Championships in Portland, Oregon. And in the middle of these two fine gentlemen here, Jenni Simpson. So Jenni is one of the first athletes that joined the new crew about 9 years ago now, or 10 years ago. Wow, you're getting old, Jenni. So 10 years have gone by since Jenni joined us. Jenni is the single most decorated middle distance runner in USA history. She's a gold medalist at the World Championships. She's also got 2 silvers in other outdoor world championships and a bronze medal at the last Olympics. Jenni's truly a legend in the sport. She's a 6-time winner of the 5th Avenue Mile in New York City and is decorated beyond belief at the NCAA level. Oh, 7 times. Sorry, Jenni. Is there a bonus in that 7th one? I don't know. But has been a huge part of our family here at New Balance Running, but also just a huge part of really what John Evans, who's in the back of the room here, really kick-started 10 years ago. So I want to thank you guys for coming out, and the weather gets better tomorrow, so enjoy. So thank you, guys. So personally, I'm extremely excited to be here, as I said. I actually grew up in this area. I grew up 5 miles directly west of here, and I was an athlete at the high school level in track and field and the collegiate level. I was going to say I was a student athlete, but one of my college coaches in the back of the room, and he might have contested that word, student athlete. So I was an athlete up the road from here and spent some of the best years of my life in running. I happen to have 2 sons running collegiately and a 3rd son who just started running in high school. So the need for resources, the need for energy and creativity around the sport of track and field, I'm hyper aware of. This facility is going to allow us to bring an energy and a level of attention to detail and connect kind of coolness to the sport of track and field that it desperately needs. We've got an absolute perfect location for our product and marketing teams to be able to come here and see what consumers are doing, see what the kids from the local high schools, whether it's in Boston or the suburbs, that are in here competing on a weekly basis. We'll also be able to host significant events and try some new things and bring some new energy to the sport. For our sports research group, this is like a dream. We're going to embed a facility here that's going to allow us to see athletes of all types, of all speeds, of all ages, and also be able to monitor them and see them in creative ways, see them when they're fatigued, see them before events, see them after events, after workouts, and learn a lot more about the human body than we can in an isolated facility. So we're really excited about that sports facility that's going to be here. Lastly, I just want to really thank Mr. Davis for the support that he has given the category of running, not just the category running at New Balance, but he's allowed us to go at things differently within it. We've been trying to grow our running business and sell more product. We've been trying to sell more track and field shoes. But along the way, we know it's equally important to give back to the category and to the sport of running. We've tried to do that everywhere, whether it's in New York City or London or what we've done at the High School Nationals. This is going to allow us an opportunity right here in our backyard to give back to young kids and make sure that the world keeps moving and kids stay fit. I want to introduce now Josh from help me out. From the Bowery Presents, sorry, who is going to really bring a level of excitement to a facility that it hasn't had before. When I said the only thing almost as cool as track and field is the music and entertainment world, so I'm going to pass it on to Josh. So thank you very much.
Good morning. On behalf of the Bowery Presents and AEG Presents, we're thrilled to be part of the groundbreaking for the track at New Balance. We look forward to calling this neighborhood home and bringing outstanding artists to what will be an amazing concert venue. First off, I'd like to thank Jim Davis for taking his vision and making this project a reality. From our office, which is right up the road on Braintree Street, we literally look out at this site and we watch it transform. It's a mix that includes the New Balance headquarters, retail and restaurant spaces, life science companies, and a brand new train station. None of this would have been possible without the commitment to building what is continuing to become one of the most exciting and dynamic developments in the city. Just to think, 2 years from now, Guest Street will be the place to see NBA and Stanley Cup champions, gold medal track athletes, and Grammy Award-winning artists. I also want to thank Jim Halliday, Keith Craig, Bob Graham, Jay Rourke, and Aaron Harvey, and the entire New Balance Development Group team for their tireless work to help develop this site. Jim did a great job of thanking the overall project team here, but a few who work closely with us, Scott Hutchinson from CBRE, Stephen Martak from Studio TAC, and Kristen Scanlon, who have worked very closely with us over the years on this and other projects. I'm happy to share this exciting event today with our Bowery Presents and AG Presents teams from New York and Los Angeles, and our local office here in Boston. I'm proud of the team that we've developed here over the last 9 years. During that time, the team has brought thousands of amazing concerts to the city of Boston and the region. For the last 6 years, we have brought our passion for building and operating great venues to Harvard Square at the Sinclair, which has quickly become a favorite venue for artists and concertgoers alike. We're confident that the new venue at Boston Landing will replicate the success we've had in fostering and growing artists' careers while delivering the absolute best concert experience. We look forward to showcasing a wide variety of artists who will continue the long tradition of Brighton and Allston as being a center for music, arts, and culture in the city. We always strive to weave our venues into the fabric of the communities that we are in. And we look at this as everything as providing jobs for residents, a gathering place for local community events, or a place to relax and see a concert on the weekend. At this new venue, we will offer fans great live music experiences that the neighborhood and city can take great pride in calling their own. We look forward to continuing what we do best. We can't wait to welcome you back here in a little over 2 years for the grand opening of this iconic venue. With that, it's my distinct honor to pass the baton to our mayor, who's been a great champion for the arts, Mayor Marty Walsh.
Your dad's a great guy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, Josh. And you know, it's an honor to be here today. There's a lot of thank yous. Everyone's been thanked, and I'm going to thank some more people. I want to thank Jim Halliday for your leadership here. Thank you for Jim Davis for your vision. I had a chance the other day to meet with the folks from Bose, and when you really think about what's happening on this location, obviously we think about sports, we think about the Bruins and Celtics. Now we're going to be thinking about track and field. We're going to be thinking about music, but there's also a lot of innovation happening here on this very site. So I want to thank you, Jim, for your vision. I want to thank the elected officials for I knew Jim through elected officials beforehand, Michael and Mark and Kevin, just on what you used to say about the impact of New Balance, and you're absolutely right. So I want to thank you guys for introducing me, and thank you for everything you do here in the city. I also want to give a shout out to City Councilor Nisa Sabi. George is with us today. And there's a lot of people from, this must be a big deal because you have the police commissioner, you have the fire commissioner, the chief of staff, Brian Golden, the entire Boston Planning Development Agency, and a bunch of people all from the city. So this is a big deal today. So thank you all for coming today for this. The only thing, I'm a little disappointed that Josh, you really don't seem too excited about this. I mean, Tom, sorry. That was awesome. That was awesome. But this is an incredible resource for the city of Boston and the entire region, this track and field. It's going to provide things that we really want to see in Boston. I want to congratulate the athletes here as well for being with us, for their incredible accomplishment, but also for taking the time to be with us today. We need to continue to make sure that we see more high-quality sports facilities for all different levels of competition. Obviously, concert venues as well. When over the last few years ago, back in the day, people talked about Boston was a place where so many bands got their start. And over time, we kind of lost that title. We have an opportunity here to get that title back, to really have these bands start to come back and really make an impact on the music world like we once did a long time ago. We're still doing well. I mean, if we don't turn ourselves, we don't say we're doing a bad job, but there's really an opportunity here with the concert venues as well to really put us back on the map, and I want to thank all of you for that. Boston Landing is an anchor for a neighborhood that's hitting its stride. Jim Davis talked about it. He talked about the impact of really taking an area that had been underutilized and turning it around. I want to thank the community that's here from this neighborhood that supported these projects. You've really created something really special here. It's a destination point. We have great restaurants and great shops and great amenities here. And it really has transformed one of the gateways into the city of Boston. That's something that's really important for us. It's also an example of a public-private partnership between the city, the state, and New Balance as a company. Something that we have to continue to do more of. In this world of politics that we live in today, it seems like we just want to fight and be divisive. That's not the case here in Boston and Massachusetts. It's about how do we work collectively together with all the different industries to make sure that we're successful. So together, what's been created here is a vibrant, walkable neighborhood that's connected to downtown and surrounding communities. This is an economic engine of jobs and housing and amenities for the people of this community. And the neighborhood is more than the sum of its parts. With the Bruins and Celtics alongside this iconic Boston company, it's an inspiring pride to our city of Boston. With the new commuter rail, it was already mentioned earlier, the impact of the commuter rail, it's incredible that it's overshot the estimate of how many people would actually use the station. So again, I want to thank New Balance and Jim working with the state and the elected officials in the city for that. It's very important for us. When you speak second to last, there's really not a lot you can say because it's been all taken. So as you can see, I'm putting my notes here. So I'm trying to think of something that the governor might not say so I can get it going. Okay, I'm going to leave you a couple things, Gov. But the thing that's fun about this groundbreaking is that you have a company and people that are committed to the city of Boston. You have people that truly care. And that makes a big impact. I'll tell you a quick story. Last summer, we had a situation in one of our housing developments in the city of Boston where we had 2 people killed. One young man who was going to graduate college in May, and he never saw that day, and another young person who was with him. And there was a lot of turmoil and concern in this particular neighborhood. And we were trying to do something for the kids. So I picked up the phone and I called Jim and I said, Jim, I need a little help. I said, I'm going to get you a number. I need sneakers for some kids because we want to be able to express to these young people that we care about them, that the community cares about them, that people care about them. And he says, absolutely, just let me know how many pairs of sneakers you need. And I went back and I asked our CSO police officer at the time, how many pairs of sneakers do we need? He said about 250 pairs. So I called Jim Davis back and I said, Jim, the number's kind of high. He goes, don't worry about it. I said, it's 250 pairs of sneakers. He said, where do you want them delivered? That's the type of involvement that this company's all about, not just in this neighborhood. And that's the type of feeling when I come to this groundbreaking or I went to the Celtics or the Bruins, it was not just about an event for a venue, for a music venue or a track. It's about really creating a special place for a community. So again, on behalf of the city of Boston, I want to thank Jim Davis and New Balance for this incredible vision for what they do here. And now I have the honor of handing off the baton to our cleanup hitter, I guess, or closer, who's going to run the last leg of this race, our governor, my friend, Governor Charlie Baker.
Well, it's all been said. It's just that everybody hasn't said it. Let me start, first of all, by thanking whoever it was that built this thing, because I can't imagine what this event would have been like if it was outdoors. And let me follow with a thought that sort of builds on a comment that the mayor just made about the role that New Balance and the Davis family has played in this city. If you think about this, New Balance and the Davis family has been in this neighborhood for 40 years. And while we're here today to talk about the track and all that comes with that, in many respects, this is the result, this whole thing is the result of 40 years worth of dialogue and conversation and relationship development and trust that's gone on between this community, the Davis family, New Balance, the elected officials, and the folks for whom this is home or this is where they work. And I really admire the ability that so many people here have had to establish a dialogue and a relationship that has made this placemaking exercise possible. It's one thing to talk about trying to transform a neighborhood. It's another to actually do it. And what we're here today to talk about is yet another piece in the puzzle of the reimagining of this part of the city of Boston. And that comes about because you have a whole bunch of people, and I mean a whole bunch of people, who've been talking to each other and working with each other for decades. And over that period of time have developed the kind of relationship that makes it possible to dream really big things and believe that they could actually occur. And that's really what today and so many of the other events that have taken place in this neighborhood and in this community over the course of the past 5 or 10 years have been about. And I'll tell you something, to start thinking 20 years ago about that whole concept of live, work, and play, in addition to the trust that was associated with this, there was an extraordinary amount of vision. These are all the elements that so many people everywhere around the country, even the globe, are talking about when they talk about urban communities. Live, work, play. How much more live, work, and play can you get than this? And by the way, he ran a 9.8400. That is like, there it is, just like that. She ran a 4:16 mile on the streets of New York. And this guy ran a 1.48. I got the number. I'm dyslexic. 1:43 in the 800. That's like a sprint. Just imagine what you're going to be able to do on this track here. It's a very special day, but I'm telling you, this day builds on a series of personal investments that a lot of people have made to one another and to this community over a very long period of time. And the constant through that is Jim Davis and the Davis family and New Balance. Congratulations to everybody. We look forward to continuing to have a chance to work with you on this great series of initiatives. Thank you.